For the first time in my life, I'm really shaking.
For the first time in his life, he admitted something few ever expected. He was afraid. The man who made millions laugh every week, the man behind one of television's most beloved characters, was quietly fighting fears no one could. See Dawn. Knotts brought joy to millions. Every Monday night, his presence lit up screens across America. His timing was perfect, his expressions unforgettable, his comedy effortless, but behind that laughter was a man carrying a lifetime of anxiety, heartbreak, and regret. This is the story no one talks about. The story behind the smile and the painful final chapter that followed the laughter. To the world, he was Deputy Barney Fife. From 1960 to 1965, he became a television icon, a character so loved it felt real. He turned nervous energy into brilliance, won multiple awards, and became one of the most recognizable faces of his time. But long before the fame, he was just a boy, born in 1924 in West Virginia, into a home that felt anything but safe. His father struggled with mental illness and alcohol. His childhood was filled with uncertainty, fear, and silence. Those early years left a mark, a deep, constant anxiety that never truly went away. As a child, he was shy. Often bullied. Always unsure of himself. So he found an escape. Performance. The ENTRILOQUISM. Comedy. Small moments where he could feel in control, where laughter replaced fear. Even if only for a while. During World War II, he joined the Army's entertainment division. There, he discovered something powerful. Laughter could change everything. It could lift people, distract them, give them something to hold onto, even in the darkest moments. And for him, it became more than a talent. It became survival. After the war, he moved to New York, chasing a dream that didn't come easy. Years passed, small roles, endless auditions, doubt creeping in at every step. But he didn't stop because somewhere inside, he knew he had something. Eventually, that persistence paid off. A role that would change his life forever, The Andy Griffith Show. That's where everything came together. His anxiety, his nervous energy, his unique presence, it all became part of the character, and suddenly, the world saw him. But while his career was rising, his personal life was quietly falling apart. He had married young, a woman who believed in him before anyone else did. She stood by him during the hardest years, supported him when success felt impossible. Together, they built a life, had children, shared dreams. But fame changes things. Long hours. Pressure. Expectations that never slow down. And for someone already struggling internally, it became too much. The marriage ended, and not long after, tragedy struck. She passed away suddenly at just 38. The loss hit him hard, not just because she was gone, but because of everything left unsaid, everything unfinished. That kind of pain doesn't fade. It stays, quietly, deeply, permanently. He tried to move forward. He married again, but it didn't last. Something inside him never fully healed. Years later, he found companionship again, a quieter connection, someone who stayed by his side, especially when things began to change. Because as time passed, his health started to decline, his vision weakened, his body grew tired, and eventually, something more serious emerged. Lung cancer. The diagnosis no one is ever ready for. But even then, he faced it the only way he knew how. Quietly. Without making it about himself. Because that's who he was. Even at the height of his fame, he doubted himself. He feared illness constantly. He questioned his own worth. It's hard to imagine a man so loved, feeling so uncertain inside. But those fears, they became part of his performance. The trembling voice, the nervous movements, the wide-eyed panic. They weren't just acting, they were real. Pieces of him turned into something the world could laugh at. And maybe that's why his comedy felt so genuine, because it came from truth. But there was one decision that stayed with him more than anything else. Leaving the show that made him famous, he believed it was ending. Thought it was the right time to move on. So he signed new deals, chased new opportunities, but the show continued. Without him, and something about that never sat right. He found success in other roles, movies, television appearances, another beloved character later in his career. But deep down, he missed it. Missed what he had, missed what he left behind. It became a quiet regret, not loud, not spoken often, but always there, a reminder that even the right decisions can feel wrong later. As the years passed, he slowed down, less work, more reflection, more time thinking about the life he lived and the choices that shaped it. Until one day, it all came to an end. February 24, 2006, he passed away at the age of 81. Quietly, without noise, without attention. Just like he lived most of his life behind the scenes, he was laid to rest among legends. But his story was always different because he wasn't just an actor, he wasn't just a comedian. He was a man who turned pain into laughter, fear into performance, doubt into something unforgettable. And that's what makes his legacy so powerful. Not the awards, not the fame, but the impact. The way he made people feel. The joy he gave without asking for anything in return. Because in the end, that's what people remember. Not perfection. Not success, but how someone made them feel. And he made millions feel something special, something rare, something real. So even now, years later, that laughter still exists, that feeling still remains, because true impact doesn't fade. It stays long after everything else is gone. And maybe that's the most beautiful part of his story, that even through fear, through loss, through regret, he gave the world something priceless. Joy. And that is something that never disappears.